right, fellas, we are in day 2 of this mess. We're attacking front motor mount first. Of course, we had to let it cool down a little bit. It's pretty cold outside. It's like 20-some degrees. So in order to get that out, to get to this motor mount, you have to switch, get some play on the radiator, get those fans out to get some room. So you want to get your air box, the breather that goes to the air box, which is taking these 2 clips out. There's some other clips for this big thing here that covers this area here. Clip. You just take all those clips out. There's a couple of 10 millimeters here. The brackets for the radiator hole there, they're 10 millimeter. Some of them are pretty hard to get to. There's one there. This one is a little easier. That one was a little tough. So you want to crank those out. Then you're going to get some play on the radiator. You want to get back here, get these hoses. If you can save the clips, you can. Mine are so hot and cold, dry rot them. Disconnect everything and then go down the list there until you have everything removed or free, and then slide those fans out of there, and the engine mount sits right down there. I can't remember. So from here, you see the dipstick. You can see a bolt from there. When I put the light on it, you'll see it. You can see the bracket almost a little bit there, right by my finger. That's the bracket that holds the engine mount. So we're gonna have to do, a couple of things here and there to get, move things out of the way to get to where we want. But I think this one is a little easier than the other one, and it looks like this. This is the front engine mount right here. So I don't remember, I haven't seen whether the connector is on the left or the right. I think it's that way, and then that connects to the engine there, 1 and 2 bolts, and then 4 at the bottom. So we're gonna keep cranking away here, pulling stuff out the way, getting these fans out, making some room for us, and then we gotta disconnect the main hose to be able to get this fan on the driver's side out. So make sure that you keep an eye for warm or hot scalding fluid. You don't want to get hot, so be safe and throw a rag on top of this if you think it's gonna be hotter than it should be. And yep, just keep moving along here. Get back in a little bit when we get this fence taken out. I believe there's only 2. Yep, there's only 2 bolts holding this one and 2 bolts holding the left one, and then you can slide them up. There's nothing holding on the bottom. I believe there's a groove where they sit. The fans will sit like this, and then they get secured at the top. All right, so far we took out the hose for the radiator, and we're just taking away, this little hose wire clamps. They're brittle. They've been breaking. Down at the bottom, we took the splash guard, the very front one. It's a couple of those little clips that are annoying right there. To get them out. It's the splash guard that's closer to the front to be able to access. And now what I did is I took a crowbar, and there was a line. I believe it's a line for the transmission that's attached to the fan on the passenger side, and again, it was brittle. I just pushed it and it broke, so I needed that loose. And now we got to make room by removing this bracket here out of the way to be able to get this fan out of here. So that's where we are currently. We took the battery out, the side bracket we released it. Of course, we lost a bolt somewhere down there. I'm pretty sure it'll turn up later, but we're gonna take the battery bracket out. It's only one bolt right here, and looks like a 10 millimeter. We're gonna get that out of there and keep working. For the battery bracket, there's several bolts. There's one back there, the one that I thought it was the only one that was here. There's one on the side here, there's one on the front here. They're 12 millimeters. Here's the driver's side fan. I had to unhook that at the bottom. There's no hookup for any lines like the one on the passenger side. There's a coolant line that comes through there, or cooling line rather, for the transmission, I believe, that has a little bracket on this side right down there that you have to take out a 10 millimeter bolt. This is a lot of work, man. It's one of those things that, if you ask me, if I had the money to pay for this to get done by somebody else, I will pay it in a heartbeat, but that's not the case. and we're trying to help people out by making some videos. So if you see down there, there's that bracket where those two lines connect right here. There's one just like that on that side over there that holds that line that goes horizontally right there, that goes across there. So we got this side done. Now we got access to the engine mount. I think most of it. We're gonna put support on there and see if we can start getting, if we have the room to get this thing out of there. So there's, remember when we're looking at the engine, we have 2 bolts at the top, 2 nuts, and then 4 bolts at the bottom. So we got to get these 2 out of the way and then see how we get to the ones at the bottom, and then you of course have that connection there, and then one that attaches to the top there. I guess they're 17 millimeter bolts. That's where they were for the ones that we did earlier. For the sides, for the one over here and the one on the bottom. The one on the bottom was all 14s for the transmission, but there you can see there's a little bracket that goes over the top there. I'm gonna say that's a 17 right there, and then I'm gonna need an impact for that. Then I can at least start seeing the nuts for the other one, and if I can't get some of them from here, I know I can get underneath, and I think I'll be okay as long as I can wiggle my way through there with some swivel extensions. So that goes to that pipe that you see there. It's like a recycle gas, whatever the heck, for the catalytic converter. It goes back to the engine. So we're gonna take that bracket off and then work with the 4 bolts there. We're gonna put a car jack on, a lift underneath a jack, and start supporting that and get ready to hopefully remove that. All right, guys, it's been a battle, but we're getting to it. We got the 2 from the top. We got the bracket off. Keep mind of where that bracket, which way is facing, so that way you don't have any issues. To get to the ones on the left side of the engine, if you're looking at the car, I had to go in between here and here and use a joint to get to it. Those are 14 millimeters at the bottom, and then the one at the front, which would be this one here, this guy is a 14. So that was pretty easy. You can get to them slowly. Takes work. Just make sure you don't strip them. Make sure you're sitting on the proper way. And like I said, the left ones, you have to go in between that return thing for the excuse me, the exhaust, whatever the heck they're called. And then this one here, they both were, I was able to get them from here. If you want to get the left hand side fan out, there's another bolt that you can see way down there. You have to take that out. I don't think I have to do that right now, so I'm gonna leave it alone. And yeah, I'm gonna keep working, see if I can get this guy out of here. I got these 2 bolts on this side that are loosened, but I gotta get him out. All right, guys, so we successfully got that motor mount out. We did have to get the counterweight that's on the right under the dipstick for the transmission out, in order to get to the pigtail right there, the connector that works, that's attached to the motor mount, and you have to get it coming left or towards the driver's side. Grab it with the right hand maybe, and then start moving it that way. You can take the dipstick out if you need it, and then make sure that you're not scraping against your radiator. But that's how you get it out. You do have to jack the engine from the area of the oil pan that's closest to the front of the car in order to get the engine to race. Otherwise, you're gonna be lifting everything up, because remember that's the engine drops on top of the mount right there, how you connect it. So you got to raise it up a little bit to make room and be able to slide it out. So we got it out. We're gonna put the next one in again, the new one in. We're gonna go in and then straight down, and then we're gonna go across and set it where it needs to be. And we'll talk about the specs in a minute here. I haven't looked these up, but yesterday we learned that it was 13 millimeter for the ones on the brackets, and 33 for the brackets, and 40 for the ones that were vertical. But I'm gonna try to double check and see that that's still correct, and when I put them on, I'll talk about it. All right, when we put in this back, you're gonna wanna go and set up the middle bolt first, and then do the the ones at the bottom. If you do the bottom first and then the middle, you might have issues getting this bolt here. Should go first. Line it up, get it in there, then deal with the rest of them, and then do your counterweight. All right, y'all. We put everything back together. Reverse process to get this back in. I'll show you how to put the engine mounts on. And the front, we got to do the back. We ran out of time for today. We've been at it for like 5-7 hours, so we're gonna cut it off for the day. Wait a couple days here until I got some time to get to the back one. It's a lot of work to do back there too in order to get to those mounts. It's just tedious work getting a lot of parts out of the way. I had a little bit of a problem getting the fan on the driver's side back in. Bolts falling everywhere. You know how that goes. So hopefully the stuff that we filmed today helps people figure out how to get this done. It's probably an expensive job, and if you can do it on the front of your house or something like that, somebody's garage, it'll save you some money. So we're gonna link everything together for the next one, or maybe put this video up and film a whole new one for the rear. All right.